Donald Trump has admitted America's attack on Iran isn't going to plan as more US assets come under attack.
Right now, hundreds of Aussies are heading home on the first flight out of the Middle East since the war began.
They're fleeing Dubai, where America's consulate has been bombed.
While President Trump insists Iran's Navy and Air Force have been knocked out, he says he's surprised at Tehran's response.
Under fire, Iran hits America's consulate in Dubai and targets another in Jordan. This war is not playing out the way the man who pulled the trigger thought it would.
Amazingly, they're hitting countries that were, let's call them neutral, right? They lived together for a long time. I think they were surprised. I was surprised.
America is still boasting of its successes, though, knocking out 1,700 Iranian targets. This is the view of an Israeli pilot as Iranian soldiers flee before impact. Israel claims to have hit the headquarters of the Assembly of Experts in the Iranian city of Qom, where a new supreme leader was to be chosen. Ali Khamenei's son, Mojtaba, said to be the leading contender. The US says all 17 ships of Iran's navy are gone.
They have no navy, it's been knocked out. They have no air force, it's been knocked out. They have no air detection, that's been knocked out. Their radar has been knocked out. And just about everything's been knocked out.
But Iran's showing it still has the power to fight. Tehran releasing this video, showing off an arsenal of drones and missiles still capable of striking neighbours.
The process that has begun will soon reach Europe if countries think that they can sit safely in a corner until this conflict ends and then take a share of it. They are gravely mistaken. The fire of this war is highly contagious and will engulf the entire world.
While cautious, some of America's traditional allies are preparing for a wider war. Greece is sending 2 frigates, France deploying an aircraft carrier group, 2 more frigates to the eastern Mediterranean. From the UK, HMS Dragon, its most advanced destroyer, due in Cyprus in a week. Qatar says it took down 2 Iranian fighter jets in its airspace and 98 ballistic missiles. British ground troops stationed in Iraq also downed drones. Its RAF jets already in the air, shooting down attack drones over Jordan and Qatar. Israel is fighting on a different front, pummeling Beirut, targeting Iranian proxy Hezbollah. 40 are dead, 30,000 displaced. Among those killed, a key Iranian Special Forces commander hiding out. Israel's tanks now seen at the border with Lebanon, awaiting further instruction.
So we're in the north of the country, and this is the Israel-Lebanon border. 130 kilometres long with a 9-metre high, heavily fortified wall we can't show you for security reasons. But what makes this so significant isn't just the border incursion, but the first use of ground forces in this war.
Israel insists this is not an invasion, just an incursion, creating a buffer zone to keep Hezbollah back. It hasn't worked yet. As we were there, a Hezbollah attack drone came flying over the border, forcing us into shelter.
Australian TV. Famous in Australia. Okay, that is a serious hit. How far away do we think that was?
Iron Dome missiles attempting to bring it down. It's unclear if they succeeded. Tonight, the first faces of American losses. 4 soldiers from Iowa killed in a drone attack in Kuwait. And these young girls, students at a primary school in southern Iraq, killed with their teachers in a targeting tragedy, 168 dead. The child victims of adult actions.
Well, let's go live now to Chris Reason in Tel Aviv. And Chris, the Kurdish forces could spark an uprising.
Rosanna, good evening. There are credible reports this evening that America's intelligence agency, the CIA, is in talks with Kurdish rebels in the north of this country with a view to giving them weapons, arms and military equipment to try and take on Iran's Revolutionary Guard. CNN reporting that it's a way of jump-starting an internal revolution in that country. There's also reports that the CIA is having similar conversations with the Baloch people in southwest Iran. Now, critics say this is a dangerous, highly contentious move, but intelligence sources saying that it may be the only way to achieve the central objective of this war against the regime, to completely replace it. Will?
All right, thank you, Chris. Meanwhile, President Trump has been grilled by reporters at the White House over America's involvement in the Middle East.
Trump denies doing Israel's dirty work and says US troops had to strike first.
For the first time, Donald Trump taking questions on the war. Sorting out who went first at the press conference was one thing.
Not your turn.
Sorting out who went first in Iran, quite another.
Mr. President, did Israel force your hand to launch these strikes against Iran?
No, I might have forced their hand. We were having negotiations with these lunatics, and it was my opinion that they were going to attack first.
Once the president made a decision that negotiations were not going to work, the decision was made to strike them. That's what I said yesterday.
But it wasn't what he said yesterday at all, when the Secretary of State claimed the US only moved after Israel said it was going in.
We knew that that would precipitate an attack against American forces, and we knew that if we didn't preemptively go after them before they launched those attacks, we would all be here answering questions about why we knew that and didn't act.
But Rubio and Trump are on the same page for this.
Let me explain to you guys this in simple English, okay? Iran is run by lunatics, religious fanatic lunatics.
They're crazy. They're sick. It's terrible.
All of that, perhaps. But was Iran an imminent nuclear threat? From the White House,
Both the Iranian negotiators said to us they could deliver 11 nuclear bombs.
but from the United Nations watchdog,
We never had information indicating that there was a structured, systematic program to construct a nuclear weapon.
either way, says Trump.
But I have never had more compliments on something I did.
The compliments today from ally Germany and its Chancellor Friedrich Merz,
Spending the night in your guest house.
while Spain is in the doghouse.
Very uncooperative. We're going to cut off all trade with Spain. We don't want anything to do with Spain.
And while Germany is on board,
Get rid of this terrible terrorist regime,
it wants to know what's next,
and we have to talk about the strategy.
as others say the same.
I just left a classified briefing on Iran. It is so much worse than you thought. You are right to be worried.
Asked today what his worst case scenario would be once this war is finally over, Donald Trump said it would be finding out that the regime change he's been pushing for hasn't worked.
A new start and new leader.
Do you have someone in mind right now?
Well, most of the people we had in mind are dead.
In Washington, D.C., Rob Scott, 7 News.
And Adelaide petrol prices have spiked to $2 a litre even before the cost of the war flows through to the pump.
Panic buying has begun, some stations running dry, with demand doubling since the conflict began.
It's been years since servos posted prices like this, which is why the rush is on in Adelaide.
We are selling like probably 80,000 litres a day. So it's been very busy. So the line will be like till the road, to the end of the road.
This Hackham station is selling twice as much since the war broke out.
We get delivery in the morning, we'll just empty by evening.
Yesterday, the bowsers went dry by 2 p.m. Today, more lines. Drivers locking in lower prices, which are getting harder to find.
People are filling jerry cans, litres, 200 litres per person.
It's the cheapest place I can find. It's probably an extra $30 a week. Something like that, yeah. Well, it's actually gone up since last time I was here.
Oil tankers sit idle on both sides of the Strait of Hormuz, the gateway for 20% of the world's oil blocked. Brent crude oil has shot up 12% since the US strikes began, sitting at $82 US a barrel. Some economists fear it may exceed $100. The last time petrol prices pushed past $2 per litre here in SA was in 2022 when Russia invaded Ukraine. Back then, the price of unleaded peaked at $2.39 per litre. World oil price rises take up to 10 days to reach Adelaide, but some retailers are already taking drivers for a ride.
We don't want service stations to take advantage of people. Retailers cannot be taking people for mugs.
Hannah Ford, 7 News.
Meanwhile, investors are reeling from a bloodbath on the Australian share market.
$63 billion lost as the war sends a shiver across global markets.
The Middle East is shuddering beneath a barrage of bombs. But for Australians, those shockwaves will be felt here. at the supermarket checkout.
People are under enough pressure as it is. Developments in the Middle East do risk making that worse.
But confident today's stronger than expected growth figures show the broader economy will be able to absorb those price shocks. Economic growth up 0.8% in the December quarter, 2.6% for 2025, better than market predictions.
We are really well placed to deal with what's coming at us from around the world.
Inflation doesn't come from Iran. Inflation comes from Canberra.
The inflationary cost of conflict has put added pressure on the coming May budget, but the government says Australia is in a better place than most.
This is faster growth than every major advanced economy.
Shadow Treasurer Tim Wilson becoming a shadow of Billy Joel.
The Treasurer did start the inflation fire. The inflation's burning while the Treasurer's squirming.
We've had the clown who's the Shadow Treasurer singing at the dispatch box, which is a human rights issue for all those who had to listen to it.
And that is a real burn. Mark Ryan, 7 News.